What's up, Champ Bets? Back again with another full card breakdown. Last week we had a great week betting wise with Edmund Shabazian pulling through. In the description I gave my bets, and I went full 10 units on him. The reason why is because I'm using hard rock bets for the first time, and it's like, oh, you get $100 back. So it's like, okay, why not? It's time to go all in. Shabazi is my favorite pick of that card, so I went in and it worked out. My heart was beating in that first part, but man, Edmund Shabazian, I would like I mentioned in that video, like I mentioned, his back was against the wall, and a Shabazian in the past would not have won that fight. But man, Shabazian pulled through for us, and we're off to a great start. And now we have this fantastic card back with the fans in a main event I'm super excited about. I already made a video talking way more in depth about the main event, so if you want to look more into Aaron Blanchfield versus Fiorot, look at that video, and I'll put a link in the description and probably the top comment for it. So yeah, let's go ahead and break down this card. Up first, Angel Pacheco versus Colin Loughnane. So Angel Pacheco is a rare case of going through the Dana White Contender Series, losing but getting a contract from the loss. He's like one of maybe like two people off my head. It might have been even that same card. Or no, it might have been a draw in that previous fight. It was a women's fight. Anyways, fight of the year contender against Danny Silva, and he showed he's an absolute dog in that fight. And try not to like the guy just because of that. That fight was incredible. And he's mainly a boxer. He's at the New England Cartel. And he trained with really good dudes there. So he's fighting Colin Loughnane, who's got good striking. He's got pretty good wrestling and grappling. He fought a tough UFC debut in Taylor Lapilus, who I didn't think Loughnane really did much in that whole fight. He looked like Marvin Vittori, if I'm honest. He reminded me a lot like him. I know he's better than that. He's a 135er. Of course, he's gonna have a lot more skills and stuff like that, but it didn't look like he had much. So this is a tough fight for me to predict, I feel like. I'm not really super sure how I want to approach this. But I think I don't think this is right. Like 9%, 91%, and the odds are pretty crazy. Which like plus 300 for Angel Pacheco. So I'm gonna take the dog in this one. I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot on Angel Pacheco to win probably a decision. I think Loughnane is a tough dude. I know a lot of people are on Loughnane. I can understand it. And if he gets this wrestling going, he's gonna win this fight. But if it's on the feet, I'm gonna lean Pacheco, and that's kind of what I think is gonna happen. I know I heard Loughnane in interviews talk about, I'm going to knock out Angel Pacheco round 1, just based on he's coming down in weight. This is Angel Pacheco's first fight at 135, which I think might be a good for him, because he's going to be able to use range from now. He really never had that option before, so I think that's going to be useful for Angel Pacheco, and I think that will help him win. I'm not confident in this one. If you're going to bet it, I think Pacheco is an okay sprinkle at most. Next fight up the card. We got Andre Petroski versus Jacob Malkoun. Both these guys are wrestlers for the most part. Andre Petroski probably has a little more striking, but Malkoun's just honestly wet blanket. He's a wet blanket, but he's a damn good one, to be fair. And he was doing a really good job at being a wet blanket of Brendan Allen. Some people even think this is a robbery. And this DQ against Cody Brunage, I mean, everyone knows. Okay. Cody Brunage won. No hate on Cody Brunage, of course. And this last Andre Petroski loss, man, that was bad. against Miguel Pereira, who, I mean, he's on a streak right now, so maybe not the worst at all. So this, in retrospect, that's not bad at all. This GM3 one's not the greatest, though, to be fair. I didn't think this Malaysian German win is that amazing either for him. He did win. I don't think Wellington's not that great. But I'm so torn in this fight. I think I'm gonna go Petrosky to probably win a decision just because he's got more power and stuff like that, and maybe judges would be like, that's gonna be good for Petrosky. I know he took this fight like on like short notice, and he was not like fully prepared. If I remember correctly, he was like in a trip to Thailand. So I'm not gonna put too much stock into that, like that being like the worst loss ever. So I think I'm gonna lean Petrosky, but again, I don't know how you can be super confident in this fight, if I'm quite honest. All right, next fight up the card: Melissa Gatto versus Victoria Dulikova. This is a very interesting fight. I'm very excited for this fight. I think this is going to be a really good one. This surprised me 75% to 25%. Melissa Gatto is a pretty damn good jiu-jitsu practitioner. She's got really nice jiu-jitsu. Like her losses, Tracy Cortez on Ariane Lipski. I know people didn't think this Ariane Lipski loss was good, but like, I mean, look at what Lipski's doing now. She is killing it. And I think Ariane Lipski is the real deal. She started working with Amanda Nunes' camp here, like with this fight, which and I ended up picking Ariane Lipski to win that one. My heart was beating in that fight because I was really scared Ariane is gonna get robbed, but worked out in the end. But Gatto's lost to like really just good girls. And Leonardo. Okay. So Jorah Eubanks, I think, is a good win. Cara Rosa, that's a good win. But yeah, Gatto is pretty underrated. Then we have Victoria Dudikova, who, I mean, this one is like Estella just landed on her hand and had it broke, or arm, elbow, excuse me. It literally says it there. I don't put too much stock in this win. Jinyu Frey's all right. She's all right. She's not bad, but I mean, it's a good thing that she won that fight. You know what I mean? Undefeated. I think the only reason why I'm leaning Dudikova to probably win a decision is just because of style. But how can you be super confident? Gatto has fought the better competition. She's done very well against good competition. I picked her against Tracy Cortez. That didn't work out so well for me, but I think on the feet, I probably lean Dudikova a little bit, and if there's going to be like any wrestling involved, I think she's going to be the one on top, and she's going to be able to stay safe. But like 75 to 25 is crazy. She is the underdog. This is her first fight at flyweight, which is something to definitely consider when making like a pick or a bet on this. It's a good thing that she's a dog, like betting wise. It's better not to touch this fight, in my opinion. That's a tough one in my eyes. But I'm leading Dudikova. I'm just gonna go with her. Again, not super confident. Then we have Evil Aslan versus Anton Turkalji. Look who that is. That's the guy he's fighting. So Evil Aslan is an absolute powerhouse, and he's trying to kill you every second he has, basically. Like every second he can. He's been getting like early finishes in these like past fights, like first round, ever since that loss to Anton Turkalji, where he basically gassed out, and that was when Anton took over after getting beat the heck up early on. So this is a tough one to call too, because Anton has already beat him, but he was getting beat the heck up before then. But for me, it all depends on how Evil Aslan's approach even is in this fight. Is he going to keep doing what he was doing in like all these past fights where he's like, I'm going in to kill you, I'm going in to take your head off? that might be like, that might not be the smartest thing. I know Anton just got KO'd by Tyson Pedro, so like maybe he's more susceptible to getting KO'd now. That's very possible. But if it goes out of the first round, man, I don't even know what to expect for Ebel Aslan, unless he completely changes his style, because this Anton guy was the guy who beat him, and maybe he knows, no, I got it. If I keep myself safe, I hit hard, but I don't go all in, I can win this fight. This is a tough one to call. I'm going to bank on Anton's back being against the wall. I think it's gonna be like a repeat. It's gonna get a sub in like round 2. But confidence in this, get the heck out of here. I have zero idea what's gonna happen in this. I very well, Ebel Aslan can knock this dude out like that. It's very possible. So I'm not confident in that one. I got a lot of dogs in this card, to be honest, like when I was like looking at this, and I do not feel confident in pretty much any of them. I'm not even the type to really hunt for dogs. I'm really not. It feels so weird because these past few cards, I'm like, oh my god, this dog's gonna win, this dog's gonna win, this dog's gonna win. It just feels so odd. But then we got our next matchup with Connor Matthews versus Dennis Bazooka. Dennis Bazooka on a 2-fight losing streak. Connor Matthews just got a win on the Contender Series to get into start with his UFC debut. Another tough one. I think this is off too, like 75% Matthews, 25% Bazooka. It's crazy to me. I'm going to lean the younger guy Bazooka to probably win a hard-fought decision, but I don't know how you can be confident in either of these guys. Bazooka trains at a great gym at Longo MMA in New York area, while Connor Matthews trains with like Angel Pacheco, Calvin Kattar, Rob Font, that's the name I'm looking for, and like guys who are like really, really good. And I would probably lean him to have the better wrestle, but nah, am I really sure about that? I don't know. This is a great fight because I genuinely don't know who's like really better ever, like anywhere. I can see they go either way. I'm really just leaning on Dennis Bazooka having the UFC experience, and like, man, my back is against the wall. I got absolutely freaking embarrassed last time against Jamal Emmers. I got embarrassed. I'm coming back to go get some back. So I'm guessing I'm going Dennis Bazooka. Zero confidence again. I'll have more confidence as we go up on these fights, but I don't even know where to even begin with that one. Julio Arce versus Herbert Burns. This one's gonna surprise people. This earlier this week is minus 600 Julio Arce, which was bananas. Like Julio Arce at minus 600 alone was how? In what world? In what world? This is Julio Arce's fight back up to featherweight. This is his first fight back up in featherweight. He's fought here before. And he's fighting Herbert Burns, who had that loss against Bill Algeo. Bill Algeo's good. Let's not act like Bill Algeo's not good. He's good. That was a bad loss. That was bad. Where we had that image of Herbert Burns being carried out by Gilbert Burns, like out the octagon, that just burned into people's brains. But I think people got to realize Herbert Burns is good. Has he shown to be a quitter? Yeah, he has. Not the best when times get rough, but back against the wall. So we know he's definitely going to have to try and perform, right? Sorry, I'm just muting my mobile device. Enough out of you. I'm doing a breakdown here. So Herbert Burns got absolutely smoked. Well, not smoked. He had success against Algeo. Let's not act like he didn't have success against Algeo, who I think is like pretty all right. He's like, it's not like I don't actually think that great of Bill Algeo, but I know he's good. He is good. I think Herbert Burns could come in here and freaking sub him round one. this is like probably like one of the boldest takes I have on this card. I know Herbert Burns. I've seen images of him. Man, he's taking this one seriously. He's in camp. He's ready to go. I'm gonna take the dog shot again. Probably round one's the only chance he's really got, but like I think he can go ahead and do this, and maybe even Julio Arce plays into freaking Herbert Burns' games. Like, I'm gonna take this guy down. I'm gonna go to the one place that he could very well beat me. I'm taking Herbert Burns, but again, how the hell can you be confident in either of these guys? Especially Julio Arce at minus 455 even. Stay away betting wise from this one in my eyes. Moving up on the card. Oh my god, a confident pick of mine. Can you believe it? I'm excited for this one. Verno Jandiroba versus Lupita Godinez. So Jandiroba is a full-on grappler. That's her whole game. She's got pretty alright wrestling, not the best, but pretty alright wrestling to pair up with it. And she got a great win against Marina Rodriguez, who I rate super highly. I love me some Marina Rodriguez. And a really good win against Angela Hill too. And then we have Lupi Godinez, who's now been at the Lobo Gym MMA, where Diego Lopez, Irene Aldana, Alexa Grasso trained. So she's getting good reps with these good girls there. And as of late, she's become a lot more of a boxer, a lot more of a stand-up fighter. But her roots really come from wrestling. And the interesting thing about this fight is how, if we get to grappling, if we get to wrestling, what's going to happen? Because on the feet, I mean, Lupi has this in the bag, really. I'm predicating my whole pick on this fight in that I believe that if Jandiroba is on bottom, she's more likely to be accepting of the bottom position than Lupi is. If Lupi's the one on bottom, she's going to be fighting and trying to wrestle back to get into a better position. And that's the main reason why I think Lupi's going to win. Jandiroba is tough, so I'm going to say probably the decision. And this is a good fight. And this is something I have to mention. This is a massive step up for Lupi Godinez. But I think style-wise, I like her here. I like her wrestling. I really love her on the feet in this fight. I think she's gonna box up Verna Jandiroba on the feet. And yeah, I'm leaning. I think if we're gonna be in like some grappling changes, I'm gonna be leaning on Lupi's wrestling to be able to keep her in this fight. So yeah, Lupi Godinez is my pick in that one, and I'm pretty confident in her. I think she's worth betting on. She's but minus 200. I think she's worthy of that number. Nate the Train in the UFC, baby! Can't help it. How do you not love Nate Landwehr fighting the Jamal Emmers? This is a good fight. This is a fun fight, especially because of freaking Landwehr. This is pretty even. I agree with that. I'm not confident anyway. I'm just gonna be upfront. I'm never gonna be betting on Jamal Emmers. I may pick him. I may do that, but his fight IQ. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's one of the main reasons why I picked Jack Jenkins to beat Jamal Emmers. Some people will definitely, not some, a lot of people will tell me that Jamal Emmers definitely won that fight. I disagree because I thought Jack Jenkins won rounds 1 and 2. He clearly lost round 3, obviously. And rounds 1 and 2 were close though. And I can understand why people thought Jamal Emmers won. But, yeah. On face value, Jamal Emmers, I mean, that win against Dennis Bazooka, he showed him the door, and me is like, hey, you don't belong here. I'm here right now. Jamal Emmers has all the freaking talent in the world. That Giga Chikadze fight, where he basically stood up with Giga the most of the time in that fight, pretty much the whole fight. And he had a freaking close fight with Giga Chikadze on the feet. That's just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. He's so talented. Again, if he had fight IQ, he probably would have wrestled in that fight because he's a phenomenal wrestler as well. So he's really good everywhere, and he's got top 15 talent for sure. Getting up there in age though, but yes, same can be said about Nate that trained in the UFC, Nate Landwehr, who's he showed in M1. Yeah, he can compete with these freaking Russian boys. He's got good grappling. He's got very good grappling actually. Good wrestling. Stand up. He's a wild dude, and he's gonna freaking come at you, do freaking crazy. I do not love that guy. It's MMA Masters. This is a tough one to call. And sometimes guys like Nate Landwehr, if you give him a crowd, he's gonna freaking fight to the death and go crazy. That Danny Ige step up was a freaking massive one, and one he was definitely not ready for. He got smoked in that fight pretty badly. But I mean, he was able to take punches from Onama, who hits like a freaking truck. A truck. And I mean, you maybe most other, maybe not most, other reps would have stopped that fight, and Onama would have got the victory. But I'm trusting in Nate Landwehr being a dog, an absolute dog, and to try and push Jamal Emmers, who, I mean, to be fair, he's going to be able to be there the whole fight. So I don't know how how you can be confident in Nate the Train either. I know you for damn sure you can't be confident in Jamal Emmers because his fight IQ is awful. Not like Nate the Train's fight IQ is anything to be freaking bragging about. He got himself hurt like the last few seconds of that Onama fight, just because he was having a fun fight. I'm going Nate the Train just because there's a crowd, to be honest, and I'm going in because he's a dog. But betting wise, stay away. In my eyes. Next up, Chidi Bang Bang. Chidi and Joe Kawani fights on Reese McKee, Skeletor. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited for this one. This one's going to be really fun. I'm going to lean with Chidi and Joe Kawani KO round 1. This is a tough one to call. Skeletor is the younger fighter. And honestly, both guys have their backs against the wall. I kind of wish I had this fight breakdown on Friday, because in Joe Kawani, like he used to fight at 170 in I believe Bellator, and man, those weight cuts messed him up. It literally messed up his vocal cords. So, and he made a claim that, like, oh, these weight cuts, I'm never going to do this again. It's ruined my body and stuff like that. And look at him. He's back at welterweight. I think I'm not going to be super cautious about that, because I'm trusting the UFC PI. To be able to make him cut that weight right and better than ever. But honestly, if he looks awful at weigh-ins, I might have to change my mind. But damn, Reese McKee is so open on the feet. Reese McKee is so tough, and like he's got the conditioning to freaking go. That Ange Lusa fight showed that he was getting beat the hell up in that fight, but then last moments he's able to get Ange Lusa hurt and freaking got him running for his life. Chidi and Joe Kawani is so nasty on the feet. Just the way he throws things, it's just sublime. His stand-up is so sublime. But it's kind of the intangibles that kind of have been holding him back. Like, he's a little bit of a quitter, to be honest. But I think with a guy like Reese McKee, who really, like, not skill-wise. I'm not talking about skills here. He relies on his height a lot, and he's not really going to have that in this matchup against Chidi and Joe Kawani. I don't really know what Reese McKee is going to have for Chidi unless he survives. And with the way Chidi hits, I think he's going to freaking knock him out, if I'm honest. I got some money on Chidi and Joe Kawani in like a parlay with some of the future people I'm going to be talking about. It's a very when I do parlays, I make them really small. I should be clear about that. I don't do big parlays. I think doing big parlays is an easy way to donate your money to the bookies, which is not what we want to do here at Champ Bets. I'm going with Njokuani, and I think I'm kind of settled on that. If I see things on the scale that tell me otherwise, or maybe he misses weight and freaking his strategic weight miss. Maybe that's what he needs to do. I do want to mention though, Albert Duraev fight. I thought he won that. I thought he won that, and like a lot of people have been kind of discounting Chidi Bang Bang for these past fights. He's been doing good in all these fights. All the fights he's lost, he's done good in. That Gregory Rod, bro, do you remember that cut on Hope Robocop's head? Like right here? Goodness gracious. And you heard Mikhail Alexeychuk after he freaking dogged it and went out cheating Njokuani. So if Reese McKee does want to win, he's got to absolutely dog it out. But I don't see it. I don't see it. And depending on the scales, how Chidi Njokuani looks, I might put some more money on him besides just in parlays. So Chidi Njokuani's the pick, and I'm kind of confident on it. I'm pretty confident on it, to be honest. Bill Algeo versus Kyle Nelson. I'm a Bill Algeo hater, man. Being flat out, I'm a Bill Algeo hater. And I kind of like Kyle Nelson. He's been doing good as of late. He was there live for the Blades versus Aspinall card when Kyle Nelson fought Jai Herbert. I thought he won that fight. Maybe I haven't watched it back. So maybe it was like pretty clear Jai Herbert win. It was low volume. It's nothing crazy. I had a fun fight. But I thought Kyle Nelson won that fight. So Kyle Nelson's kind of being underrated here. But I think style wise, I just like Algeo's activity, his durability, and the volume, to be honest. And I think that's what you're gonna need to beat Kyle Nelson. So I'm just really going with Kyle. It's not Kyle Nelson. I'm going with Bill Algeo because of that. And I think that style is gonna be what's needed to stop Kyle Nelson. Not stop, decision. I think Kyle Nelson's pretty tough. But yeah, am I super confident? Not really, but Bill Algeo, if I'm picking Bill Algeo, I can't really give a reason to really support Kyle Nelson's case, because I always pick against Bill Algeo ever since that Brito fight. I feel like that Brito got freaking robbed in that fight. But what do I know? So I'm going Bill Algeo. Respect to Bill Algeo. I think he'll win. He's good. Next fight up on the card. Nursultan Ruziboev versus Cedric Dumas. This is going to shock a lot of people. I'm going with Cedric Dumas. Oh, Champ Bets. What are you doing? Why are you putting your reputation on this dude, Cedric Dumas? Well, I'm not. I shouldn't say I'm putting my reputation. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that. I don't think Cedric Dumas is good. I'm going to say that up front. And damn, I'm going to say the same thing about Ruziboev. I don't think he's that good either. I did pick him to beat Bruno Ferreira. I did pick him to beat him. Who I don't think Bruno Ferreira is really that good at all. I'm going to be honest. And like, wow, he beat Phil Hawes, who has no chin. He beat him like that. Whoop-de-doo. I think Dumas he's definitely going to have the cardio advantage in this fight. Ruziboev gets tired after round 1. He's 2-6 to the decision. He's good everywhere else, like subs and KOs, TKOs. But otherwise, not really. He's not that great there. And I do like how he's training a Philly with those guys, like Sean Brady and those in that group there. That's a good move by Ruziboev. He's going to get a lot better by training with those guys. But man, it just, the line is crazy. -270 Ruziboev, +220 Cedric Dumas. I know the line has been falling down. It's definitely been falling down. The athleticism of Dumas, I think, is going to make such a big difference. I don't think Ruziboev is going to be able to KO him. I feel like even Dumas might even have the better wrestling and grappling, to be honest. I'm not super certain about that, but I mean Josh Fremd absolutely smoked Dumas in the grappling, and the excuse Dumas gave after that fight was the most funny thing I've ever heard. The funniest thing I've ever heard, where it's like, "Oh, I was thinking about women problems." I think it was in a pub sports interview, which I was like, "This dude is out of this world delusional." And wow, he's got like convicted. There's like a mugshot photo of Cedric Dumas out there, which is exactly why he's going to be a mythical fighter this weekend. New mythical fighter convicted Dumas. I'm not really giving that much of a great reason to pick Dumas. I feel like I think he's athletic. I think he might have the better grappling. I think his striking is going to be better. He's a long, super athletic dude. Ruzabov is very big himself, but I think Ruzabov is a fraud. Be flat out. Dumas is not. Everyone knows Dumas is nothing great. I think Ruzabov is a fraud. I think. I mean, I'm just doing the KO for the meme, but I'm not super sure how Dumas, like the method. I think he can win by KO. I think he can win by decision. Sub. I'm not sure if his sub game is really there yet. We know he's been working on his grappling ever since that Frem fight. The Brundage, how he grappled Brundage was very good to see. Zaitar, oh my god, that fight. Disgusting. He won that fight, but why are you having a close fight with a Zaitar? God, he's so bad. But like I said, I think both guys are bad. I'm really leaning on the odds. I do have money on Dumas. I have 1 unit on Dumas because I think the line is way off. I might regret that. I very well might regret that. But yeah. And I also heard that Dumas is now at Fortis MMA. So because of that, he's gonna get better looks. So he's gonna improve more rapidly with that. So I think Dumas is gonna be the guy to get it done. I'm confident, but I'm not like ultra confident. There's one I'm very, very confident on that's up on this card. So let's go up. Well, I wasn't even talking about this one, but I'm pretty confident about this one too, actually. Bruno Silva's gonna beat Weidman. How? I'm gonna go with KO round 2. Give Weidman some leeway because he's a tough son of a gun. Bruno Silva hits like a truck, and Weidman's kind of hittable. Weidman's best bet to win this fight is to go ahead and come in, wrestle, and grapple Bruno Silva. And honestly, he can do that. At the odds Bruno Silva's at, hell no, I'm not betting him at those odds. But I think the physicality differences is different. That leg of Chris Weidman is just, it's so messed up after that injury. It's so sad. I was there live. That was the first UFC event I've ever been to. UFC 261. Damn, you could hear that crack from where I was sitting. Scary stuff. And I'm happy he's back. I'm happy he's absolutely fighting through it. But I don't see it in this matchup with Bruno Silva. I think Bruno's going to be able to TKO him. I mean, I hope Weidman wins, but I got to go with Bruno Silva to win. Like I said, can Weidman grapple and wrestle like that? Absolutely, he can win like that. But do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't believe so. So I got Bruno Silva to win that fight. I'm pretty confident he's going to win this fight. Next fight up the card, Vicente Luque versus Joaquin Buckley. This is a great fight. Vicente Luque, I believe, born in New Jersey. So, hey, what do you know? What a coinkydink. What a coincidence. This is an absolutely amazing fight, and I'm super curious how it's going to go. The odds have been tightening a lot for this fight. A lot of people are starting to put money on Buckley, and I can understand why, because Buckley's a big dude. 185er is now at 170. He's performing better than ever at 170. He's beating all these dudes at 170. And now he's getting a big step up on short notice against Vicente Luque. I think Luque might be that little bit of a too big of a step up. What I really, really, really want to see in this matchup is the grappling. I want to see how the wrestling is going to go. Luque trying to wrestle with Buckley, and I don't think Buckley's going to try to wrestle with Luque though, but I do believe Luque has a way better ground game, but that size difference, how much of a difference is that going to play? I don't know. On the feet, I know people are worried about Luque's like brain injury, like the brain bleeding and stuff like that. Luque can crack still, but like, I mean, we haven't really seen that in that RDA fight. He became much more of a grappler in that fight. But I'm gonna trust in Luque. I'm gonna say sub round two. I'm gonna say sub round two. I'm not confident about the method, but I do think Luque's maybe a little bit too much of a step up for Joaquin Buckley. But would I be shocked if Joaquin Buckley beats Luque? No, not at all. Joaquin Buckley's really good. So that's where I'm settling on that. I'm leading Luque. Somewhat confident in him. I do think he's gonna win this fight. And then I already made a whole breakdown on this. Men on Fiorot. This is my most confident bet on the card. I went into a lot of depth in this in my last breakdown, and something I forgot to mention that I will mention here. I think that the Southpaw, which is what Men on Fiorot is, and Orthodox, which is Aaron Blanchfield, I think that it's going to create a lot of problems for Aaron Blanchfield. Because if you see the last time she fought a Southpaw, which was JJ Aldrich, she was getting lit up. She was getting lit up by JJ Aldrich. She was getting like a bunch of jabs to her face. And she's like, okay, I can't do this. I need to switch stance to my own, so I'm matching. And she's still getting hit with that. I think the Southpaw is a problem for Aaron Blanchfield. So that's something I definitely wanted to mention. Hold on. Here we go. I really believe Fiorot is going to have a chance to even be able to out-wrestle Aaron Blanchfield. That's a bold take, I know, but I can so see it. I can see Aaron Blanchfield try a bunch of takedowns and a bunch of clinches. Man, if we're up against the fence, you got me on the fence. Turn around. Now you're up against the fence. I'm the bigger, stronger girl. You've never felt someone like me, except for maybe Talia Santos, but I don't gas. I wanted a 5-round fight against you, as I showed in the previous video. She wanted 5 rounds against Aaron Blanchfield. She's got full self-belief in her. She's 34 years old now. She just turned. She's got self-belief, and she believes her time is now. Aaron Blanchfield believes that too, but she's super young. She's got a lot of time to go ahead and get better. She's probably getting better between each fight. But man on is that girl, and I think it's time that people put some respect on her name. The big points about Men on Fiorot that make me think she wins, to put like bullet points: great movement, fantastic takedown defense, and Aaron Blanchfield not having great wrestling. The striking difference on the feet is just levels, so many levels apart. And Fiorot just being super massive, and she's got the cardio to back it up. So yeah, I'm going Men on Fiorot. I'm going to give respect to Blanchfield, saying she'll make it to a decision. She's cold-blooded for a reason. Me picking against Blanchfield, not me saying she'll never become a champion. That's crazy talk. She has so much room to improve and get better. And Aaron Blanchfield will be back after this one, but Men on Fiorot is that girl. Now is her time. I think she'll take her spot in the main event of this fight card. So yes, that's all my picks. So going through the card, I got, before I do that, I forgot to mention I have a 2-unit bet on Fiorot, and I'm, after weigh-ins and looking at face-to-faces and stuff like that at the the ceremonial weigh-ins, I might put a little bit more, just a little bit, not more than, not another unit, but I might just put a little bit more, like a 0.5 on Fior. If I see everything is confirmed, I feel confident in her. So yeah, I really believe she's the one this weekend, and I love her at dog money, which to me she should be a slight favorite. I think she should be a slight favorite. So yeah, going through the card, I'm not confident in this card at all. Maybe don't follow my picks. I wouldn't go heavy on most of these fights, personally. I got Angel Pacheco to be able to withstand Colin Lochrain. I got Andre Petrosky to be able to do more damage. Dudikova to be able to do good on the feet as well as stay safe at the wrestling. I got Anton to survive Ivo Aslan, assuming he fights how he's been fighting, which honestly we don't know. I got Dennis Bazooka to show his UFC savviness as a veteran now after losing 2 fights, now back against the wall, ready to try and prove himself in front of like basically a hometown. Not hometown, that's not true. New York is his hometown, but New Jersey, New York, there's a connection. Most people acknowledge that. I'm going Herbert Burns to be holy. That's just crazy to say Herbert Burns winning. Oh my god, what am I doing? I believe he's gonna get a sub round 1. I believe it, and maybe he does have. He's grown a backbone. It was such an embarrassing performance last time. I gotta show up. I gotta show myself. I'm a fighter. Maybe he'll do that. I'm mostly picking him for the odds. I got Lupi Godinez to win. I do believe she's got the right skills, and stylistically I lean her to win this fight. I got Nathan Train because this is on front of a crowd. I think that's going to fuel Nathan Train, and probably what's going to be a really close fight. Wouldn't be surprised if Emrys puts him out, if I'm honest, but I believe in Nathan Train to get this one done. Not confident. Chitty Bang Bang, I think he KOs Reese McKee because McKee doesn't have the striking defense necessary to take the shots of Chidi and Jokuwani. And you can't be taking the shots of Chidi and Jokuwani like that. I got Bill Algeo to be able to outwork Kyle Nelson and basically use his durability to be able to take all this stuff, use the volume to be able to put on a lot of punches and kicks onto Kyle Nelson. He maybe even grapple. I think he can have success grappling, and length I think is going to be a big part to help Bill Algeo win this fight. I got Dumas to finish Rusabov round 1. Not confident about the finish, but I do think Dumas has what he needs to win through athleticism, to be honest. I really do think that Dumas can win this fight. And more time fighting competition in the UFC. I don't think either guy is good. I'm chasing the odds. And I do believe Dumas has the skills in order to win this fight against Rusabov, who's got a Kimura trap, and that might be about it on the ground. He hits really hard though. No denying that. He might just KO Dumas, of course. Dumas shows he has a good chin though. Let's not act like he doesn't. I got Bruno Silva to finish Chris Weidman round 2. Weidman has a chance to out wrestle Bruno Silva, but I think physicality difference is going to be a lot, and Bruno Silva hits really hard. And about it for that one. I got Vicente Luque to maybe a Darce choke. He hasn't hit a Darce choke in a little bit. He's got good front chokes, so I think I'll go with that for Luque. I think he's going to go ahead and hit one of those on Buckley, assuming his wrestling will be successful. That's assuming. If not, it's going to be a little tough. It'll be a close, good, awesome, close fight. That's going to be an amazing fight. Banger. Probably fight of the night. And, but yeah, I trust in Luque's experience, and I think that will carry him to victory. And of course, I believe in my girl this weekend, Manon Fiorot, to get it done. It's the hometown girl, Erin Blanchfield. It's absolutely teeing off on Erin Blanchfield's face and getting to work like that. I believe she'll be able to keep it on the feet and win a decision, even in Erin Blanchfield's hometown. I don't think she'll gas. I believe in her to go ahead and win this fight. So yeah, that's it. That's our breakdown of UFC Fight Night Atlantic City, Erin Blanchfield versus Manon Fiorot. So If you have any questions, if you want to discuss about the picks in the comments, a lot of my picks are crazy this week. I'm not even like this where I pick underdogs that often. I usually like betting a lot on favorites for the most part. I even like a little chalky favorites. I like picking people I think win. Not a lot of bets I really like this week too much, but the ones I liked I mentioned in this video. So yeah. Hope you'll be back next week for Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis breakdown of the main event as well as the full card as a whole. And yeah, Champ Bets will be back. Let's go. Let's hope for another big winning week. All right. See you guys next time.